Hey, what's up? It's Michael Yep. Welcome to Comics on Canes. It's taken me, honestly, I got laryngitis because I was yelling so much, I think, and I lost my voice. It's taken me several days because I was look, if you follow me on Twitter and you're a Miami fan, you know I was very angry on Twitter. I was a straight thumb thug on Twitter. I was just thumb thugging it. Ah! I was angry, man. Like, you know that song Bone Thugs and Harmony? Bone, bone, bone. I was like thumb, 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 thug. I was that. I didn't feel great about it. But for some reason, I felt I had to say how disappointed I was in several decisions in the game. And I'm gonna let Rudy and Forrest talk, but I just need to get this off my chest first. First thing, and I've heard every argument now, and this is why I needed 3 days. This is why I needed 3 days to talk to you guys. I heard the argument about going for the field goal because you had to stop them anyway, again, to score. I don't like that argument. I don't like the decision from Mario. You basically took the ball away from the best player in college football to score a touchdown to tie the game. Let's say they didn't tie the game. They would have had the ball at the 15. Okay? That's a lot longer to drive and to keep the ball. Look, I know they didn't stop them. But on the other hand, if they would have scored, people are just acting like they would have moved the ball if they scored. You know how much more pressure there is on an offense when it's basically the game is tied and you have to go down the field and score? And if we do happen to get lucky and stop them, now you're going into overtime. And you have the best player in college football in overtime. Mario has done several interviews. He said he went by the analytics. He went by it all year. That's the problem. You're just going by analytics and not feeling the game. Did you not see? Your team couldn't stop that team all day? Did you not see that they scored on 5 out of 6 possessions? Did your analytics not look at you and say, hey, you need to watch the game and stop watching me? I was very upset about that. I was also very upset about JG. Jacoby George. To me, look, X fumbled the ball, but I'm not going to even get mad at X. You know why? Because he's not that dude. He did it the last 2 games, but he's proven he's not that dude. JG, on the other hand, stupid foul all last year, did it again, worst time. It was, I believe, Forrest 1st and 7. I mean, it was 2nd and 7. And then it turned into a 3rd and 23.
I think we're 8 yards from the goal. Yeah. So
2nd and 8 turned to a 3rd and 23, something like that.
From a 2nd and goal from the 8. Yeah.
2nd and goal from the 8.
Yeah.
And we got comments coming in. Please keep your comments coming because I'm gonna get to them. I just need to vent. I need to get this off my chest, and then we're gonna hopefully get more positive. To me, if they do go to the college football playoffs, which we'll find out later today, Jacoby George shouldn't play in that game. I would not let him play in that game. I thought them putting in Lyle ruined the flow of the game. You had Damian and Fletcher killing it. Lyle, all about the backs coming up. They could have put A.J. Allen in. I would have been like, what are you doing? You're destroying the flow of the game. I thought that was horrendous. And I just think you have a defensive coordinator that couldn't stop anything, but we've seen it all year and no adjustments were made. And what you're hearing from certain websites, and people know who I'm talking about, we don't have the talent. We don't have this. We don't have that. 2 top 10 recruiting classes, could be 3. We'll see. You didn't make this is what happened. You have the talent because teams that are less talented are beating us. Look, Syracuse good, 9-3. Georgia Tech good. Look, they took Georgia all the way to the match, but they are less talented teams than Miami. I think what happened is they took the defensive backfield for granted. They thought, oh, we'll be good. We'll be good. And they brought in like no top tier people. They brought in second tier people for depth. And that crushed them because they overestimated their talent at corner and safety. I really believe that. Now, that's all I want to say right now. I'm sure Forrest is going to say some things, and that's going to fire me up. I'm sure Rudy's got some stuff. But we're going to get to your questions too. Forrest, take it away.
Yeah. It's, we talked about it going into the game. All of our predictions were like high-scoring, one-score games, but in Miami's favor. But so it wasn't like I was watching it like, what's going on? Because I said it. I gave you all the stats. I talked about Kyle McCord. I said, this guy is good. This guy's a pocket pro-style passer. He's got weapons everywhere. And it's gonna be tough for a team to do. And sure enough, the game starts. It looks okay, but even those couple stops at the beginning, I was like, we didn't really stop them. Just like there's a penalty and something else happened. And then once they got going, I was just like, this is tough, because they're you could just tell like all of a sudden we're dropping linemen back.
Uh-oh. Think about dropping.
I'm back.
Man.
Hold on. Is Gidry in control of your camera phone? Because he just dropped you back in coverage too.
I don't know. This is an old building I'm in, so it might be a ghost.
What are the chances?
Rudy? That's the clip right there.
That is so the clip
right there.
Oh, that's so funny.
Hold on, Forrest. The Pringles guy. We love the Pringles guy. He says analytics has been telling Mario to fire Gidry for a while, and yet he hasn't listened to it. Oh, 100%. And then Forrest is talking about the defense dropping linemen, and then he drops his phone. I'm telling you, man, it's fake.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, I knew you were mad because we'll text during the game. Not a lot. We don't text a lot during the game because we want to save it for the podcast. But when you can just tell, I was like, I'm not going to text Michael anymore. I knew you.
No, nobody did.
You were lit. I said one thing to you. I go, why would we kick the field goal there? You just go, I don't know. And it was just the way you I don't know what it was, but I was like, I'm not texting Michael anymore.
Yeah. You can always tell Michael's in a mood because there's no punctuation and it's 3 syllables, whatever the response is. You're like, all right, that's the end of this conversation.
But I was just like, analytics. I'm like, we are not. It wasn't like, oh, we're almost stopping them. It was like Tecmo Bowl, where I was like,
when you got Bo Jackson.
Yeah, both sides though. Like they get the ball like 11 yards, 15 yards, like and just wide open. And saying we were moving the ball again. It's like, to me, it's like a 10-yard play for a touchdown versus a field goal. It's like you see what's going on in the field. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. How you a coach? Yeah,
can I tell you what's so frustrating to me? Is I love the Orange Bowl boys, and they got another. I think his name is Coach Hayes, and somebody in the comments can let me know. I believe his name is Coach Hayes, but they break down film. And I love to watch them because you really see how out of place the Miami defense is aligned and how bad. And I know the other teams have OCs to go, they're doing their thing too. I get that. But you really see how misaligned Miami is and how bad technique. Like most of the podcasts are saying, our safeties are taught that if they're doubling somebody, they don't even pay attention to the quarterback. They look automatically to the receiver. And there's all this other stuff happening. I can't break it down like them, but there are major problems in that secondary.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the 12th game of the season, and they're still like not lining up properly. Like they're getting to the line, and then they're like, "Oh no, you're there." Like they're pointing, like the corners and the nickel. No, you're
in Forrest. It's not the good pointing. It's not like you see some teams like you got cool. It's the head. It's the where am I going pointing.
Yeah, and
that's
I'm like,
problem.
And I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's literally one defender for 3 dudes right now, and then they fix it right before they snap it, and then lo and behold, 2 of them are wide open. because the quality of their wideouts is like, you can't be like that. You can't be unsure. They're looking at those guys were just looking at just licking their lips, like, oh, okay.
Well, you know what I did love though?
Yeah.
I love that OJ Frederick got worked out that game, because this is why I liked it, and why he's going to be great is because even though they caught balls on him, he was always in the area to tackle him. He didn't miss a tackle after they caught. I thought that showed lots of mature. Look, he got burned, and when I say burned, the ball got caught on him a lot. But I will say this: he was there to tackle them.
Yeah, but also Kyle McCord was dropping like
he was
good, like he was like the balls were right there. I know there was that one where I can't remember the receiver that caught it against him, but then he had that little standoff with him, and then he WWE'd him. Like
I mean, the guy is great, and I loved OJ showed that. Look, was it a bad game for him? Yes, but it also, for me, gave me a lot of hope, saying, "Oh, this dude's a freshman, and these are basically great receivers he's going against. He's getting beat, but he's there to make tackles, where you can't say that for a lot of our secondary." Let me go to this one. Damian Guzman says, "What kind of transfers do you think we should go get and flip commit?" I'm not worried. Here's what's interesting about me. I don't really care about who's flipping, who's going. To me, if you don't want to play for this school, buy. If you're going to take more money, go get more money. My whole opinion about NIL right now, we paid for guys that were proven in college, and they didn't work out this year to the fullest they should have. So my thing is, like, why would I pay that much for a high school kid that has no credibility? You pay your little money, whatever they're worth, you pay them that. But I'm not going to drop bills on you, because I did that with defensive linemen that didn't even come through for a lot of years. And these were dudes that played. These were not bench warmers. These were dudes that played. So I think in my mind now, why am I going to drop all this money on high school players that haven't proven anything in college, when I can drop money on players that have proven stuff in college, and that still may not work out? I'd rather go with that choice than the first choice. Yes, do I want high? Make a splash. Look, yes, you want to make your recruiting splash. You want to brag to other schools, but it's more about making a splash season-wise and hit that portal. Defensive lineman, defense. I don't care. Look, Miami, I don't care how much money you got. Spend it all on defensive backs and linebackers. Yeah. Because you're gonna have Moten back. You're gonna have a defense. You're gonna have Bain. You're gonna have some players, and then you're gonna have a couple of players that just want to be on the team on the defensive line that you're not gonna have to pay an arm and a leg for. But for those key cornerbacks and safeties, I mean, you got OJ. You need, and I'm not talking about second string, third string. You need starter safeties, because I have a good friend who's a coach, and he goes, "Man, in college football, every play, there are players running free. In pro football, it's not like that." So that just shows you the level jump. Like most cornerbacks and safeties don't make it to the NFL. That jump is way bigger than a receiver. That jump is way bigger than offensive. There's very few great corners and great safeties. That leap is very big. So get the best you can on that. That's where I would spend my money.
Yeah, speaking of dropping some money, LOL 305 dropping us $10. Thank you very much.
LOL.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. I think you know what I found out, Rudy? I think that's called a super chat.
Super chat. Let's super chat it up. All right.
I think what they say though. I want to read what they said. I didn't see what they said.
Let's see. OJ's holding call was a cry for help. They should have made major adjustments when they seen him struggling. Fire the DC.
Look,
agreed.
You know, LOL 305. I never call for a person's job, but I will say this: they need to assess it. They need to bring help for him if they keep him.
Yeah.
They should have fired him at halftime.
Yeah. Pringles guy says, if we get snubbed from the playoffs, they fired Guidry tonight, guaranteed.
Yeah. Oh no, I agree with that. Do you agree with that? Pringles guy always bringing it. If we don't make the playoffs tonight, if we're not in that top 12 bracket tonight, I do believe they fired Guidry.
Mm-hmm. Now I think
we're sitting at 13 and 14 too.
I think we're going to make the playoffs. By the way, I think we're going to.
Let's not get to that yet. Okay. I just want to, because we're going to talk about that. Let's talk about, where do you think they land tonight? Do they drop 7 and go to 13, or are they still in the top 12?
I I don't know. I think they're still in the top 12 barely because just me personally, I don't see 12 other teams I see other teams you put in front of them, but 12 total teams you put in front of them. Man, we were texting during that Georgia game too, and I got ahead of myself. Hey, they're gonna win. Man, that would have helped a lot if Georgia Tech would have beat them, but I still think it helps. I still think it helps where it's the two teams that we lost to are good teams. Syracuse is probably ranked. Are they ranked in AP that came out?
They are. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. ACC just gets no respect. You got Duke at 9-3, you got Syracuse 9-3, and then you have Georgia Tech, whatever they are. They took Georgia. None of them are ranked. It's just they don't respect the ACC. And we've proven we lost the games, but we've proven we can play with them. And I do believe Miami can play in the SEC. You got the number one offense in the country. Yes, the defense is bad. But I was very down and out after the game. And then I started hearing the narrative. Alabama versus Miami. Alabama, 1 win against bowl teams versus 3 losses. Miami, 4-2. 2 losses on the road to bowl teams. And when I heard that from ESPN, what popped in my head, Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse is talking. ABC is talking. Mickey's like, hey, you know what we should do? We should put Cam Ward in the college football playoffs.
Yeah.
Because he's a Heisman. He's up for a Heisman, and they have the number 1 offense in the country. That's what we should do. That's what I heard.
That's pretty good, Mickey.
I should get tipped for that.
Not bad.
You should give me money for that. That was pretty brilliant. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was good. And that's another clip, Rudy. That's another clip.
Oh man, the next time we're on the road, you're going to be an impression comic from now on. You're just going to do Obama and Mickey Mouse the whole time.
Who do I want? Alabama or Miami? I don't know. Maybe I'll take the best quarterback in the country, best offense in the country, or should I take a guy that won't even get drafted? I don't know.
Yeah, a team that lost to 2 unranked teams, one at home.
Okay.
By double digits. I mean, come on. They're Alabama. If they're in it, it's a crime. So
put that back up. We got 199 from Lakers all day dope. Ed Reed. Okay. I have a question, and I'm not trying to disrespect you. Lakers all day dope. What credibility has Ed Reed have to be a DC when I don't believe he's ever coached. I'm not saying he couldn't. I'm saying we need to bring in people that have done this. That's what I feel. Thank you for the tip, though. But my feeling is Ed Reed would be good, not as a DC, but get him in there. Get him in there. I think it means a lot when Michael Irvin was on the sideline. If Ed Reed wants to get him somewhere in there. DC, he's never done that. I don't feel that. But yes, he needs to be a part of the program.
He got hired as a coach and then quit the next day when he went to see the facilities, and I can't remember.
Well, he didn't quit. He got fired because he was talking trash about the facility.
Is that what it was?
I love this guy.
That's all I know about it.
But
is it going to be any worse than
But let's be honest. What more Kane thing is that than to get hired by somebody and talk crap about it?
Yeah. No, it's great.
That's a real Kane right there.
He certainly could come in and be a defensive back coach if you want,
100%.
You don't think Ed Reed's he could come in there and just by accident teach kids these kids stuff about being a DB. You know what I'm saying? Just by accident.
But this is what I like. You guys throwing out these different conversation pieces. Like Ed Reed, I would love him to be a part of staff, not the DC. He hasn't been proven yet. But him, not even as the defensive back coach, just him being part of it.
Consultant.
Yeah, like a consultant or something.
Yeah.
Hold on, this right here. What kind of DC do you guys want? A smart one. A guy that knows how to make. This is what I hate. Can I just want to be honest with you. This is the biggest thing I hate after we lose a game, or even when we win some games that we barely win. Guidry or coaches be up there and they'll say, well, they did some things we didn't expect. They really schemed it up against us. And I'm like, well, defense, why didn't we do that against them? Yeah. I can't stand that. I can't stand when our coaches say, well, they schemed some stuff up. You know what I never hear from other coaches that play us? The defense schemed up some stuff. Actually, I think, and I don't know if this is a real quote. Please, somebody in the comments, let me know. But that Fran guy for Syracuse, I think he was quoted as saying, everybody wants to play this Miami's defense. I said that, and I stick by it. Every team wants to play against Miami's defense. I saw it as a quote. It was Instagram. I don't know if it was real, but I could see it being real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and from the Virginia Tech game on, I mean, I know Wake Forest, our defense looked better, but Wake Forest is not a good. They're really bottom feeder there at the ACC. But from Virginia Tech on, it was. I don't remember our defense stopping anybody.
Nobody.
Nobody. And you make zero adjustments in like the last 7 games. I mean, zero adjustments. Not at halftime, not by quarter, not by game. Just every game. Because every game we would be like, oh no, this is they'll be okay. They'll be able to contain this. I think they'll be, this guy's injured, so this guy's playing, whatever we would say in our analysis of it. And then you just start watching the game, you're like, yep, here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, the Pringles guy says, I think we're not going to the playoffs. We'll save Miami's future because if we get destroyed in the playoffs, next season is going to be – I don't believe that. So I was on that train. Pringles guy, we were on the same page after the game. And then I was like – and don't get me wrong, Pringles guy. I don't believe in our defense at all right now. Not at all. But to put Miami on a stage against – in the college football playoffs, I think does a lot for our school. As long as we don't get blown out, and I don't think we will because we'll score. I don't care, Georgia, you get Oregon, you can put anything, they can't stop us from scoring. No one has proven they can stop us from scoring. Georgia Tech, I think we did 22 points, but that was a weird game. I don't think any team can stop us from scoring, so we're going to look good. We may get beat. But I was pretty much against a college football playoff. I go, why embarrass us? Why even go to a bowl game? I was that dude because I was so depressed. But then you look at it and go, Miami, the school we love, in the college football playoffs? Wait a minute. That's awesome to see them in the playoffs. And what if they get a couple picks in a game? What if Kiko causes a fumble and they get it? What if one of these new linebackers, Popo, or which one caused that fumble? Malik Curtis, I think, caused a fumble, didn't he?
It's the same kid that did it on the kickoff. And I don't know why his name's escaping him the week before. He did 2 weeks in a row. He caused. Yeah.
That could happen. So I go, you know what? I want to see it. Because you know why? When are we going to see Cam Ward play again? Because if we don't go to the college, he's not playing again. I want to see Cam in that uniform one more time. I think here's the
other thing. We're not getting blown out. The defense may be the defense, but we're not getting blown out, like you said.
Bobby Pruitt. Pruitt was the guy.
Bobby Pruitt. Thank you, Pruitt. Yeah, 2 weeks in a row. He caused fumbles.
No, I think Davey was last. I think it was Day last game.
I think Pruitt was on the kickoff return.
Okay, they'll let us know, but I think it was another guy. It was like Day last week.
We're not getting. We might have lost 2 games where we're favored, but there were 1-score games.
On the road.
On the road. We're not getting blown out. We're going to score points. So, to me, if you're on the committee, it's do I want to see a fun offense, and a shootout? Maybe we lose. But if we lose, it's going to be 42-35, like it was this, 40 or 41-38 or something. It's going to be a good game. It's not going to be good defensively, but it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Here's what I hate about these commentators. You have the number 1 offense in the country. You blew out Florida at Florida. Lane Kiffin and gang got beat by Florida at Florida. People are acting like since Miami is an ACC team, they can't score on anybody. Oh, they just got the number 1 offense in the country just for the ACC. No, it's for all of college football, and they will score on you too because our offense got athletes. It just faced the facts. Defense, I can't defend right now, but we got athletes. We will score. It will be a fun game to watch. I can see us being beat by 14 points in a game, but it'll be 50-36. You know what I mean? So it's going to be an entertaining game in this whole narrative. But like I said, when I saw ESPN put out the tweet about Miami versus bowl projected teams in Alabama, I was like, Mickey's talking. Oh boy, I can't wait till the college football bracket comes out today.
If we get in the playoffs, and my battery might die here in a second, I'm really out of it today with this phone and everything. But if we get into the college football playoffs, we should leave our kickers at home. We're not punting. We're not. We're going for it on every. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's 4th and 22.
Yeah.
We're not going. We're not kicking extra point. Well, Borgales will keep, but we're going to score on every drive. We are not punting, or we're going to turn it over. That's just how we should approach the games. Like we're not giving it back to them.
Anthony Manzano says, I understand why you guys want to bring former players in, but this is what's hurting. Miami were so obsessed with bringing former players to be positioned. No, I'm not into bringing former players. I'm not on that train. I'm not even on that OC. What's the one in the NFL? Ken Dorsey? No.
Dorsey is an OC. Yeah, he was for the Bills.
I'm not even into him coming and being our OC. I'm more into get great coaches that have experience, that know how to coach. Yeah. That's what I'm into. Get an NFL coach. Get somebody that knows what they're doing. Not a coach, defensive coach that was at, we lost Forrest. We'll go to the 2-box. Can you put us on the 2-box? Oh, wait, there he is. Are you there, Forrest, or no?
Well, I'm here, but it's about to die. So
okay.
I might have to say
we'll
goodbye.
keep you till you die. Don't get a coach that you're trying to give their first big, you're Miami. Don't give a coach their big break. Like Marshall. The only thing good about Guidry being at Marshall is if we play Notre Dame, he did beat Notre Dame at Marshall when Notre Dame was supposed to be good. But we should not be I'm gonna give a guy their big break school. We should be the school that, this dude's established, knows what he's doing, may not work out, but it gives us the best chance school. That's my opinion.
I think you just basically described Ken Dorsey. So you described. I think he's got. I mean, the guy's been around. He's got talent. He knows what he's doing.
No. Absolutely. Ken Dorsey is fine, but I'm talking about the Ed Reeds. I'm talking about just people that have played and never coached. Really,
never coached. Yeah.
Like I wouldn't mind bringing back DVD now. I mean, he's a great recruiter. Let's see where we can plug him in because he loves Miami too.
What's Randy Shannon doing?
Some of the comments here. We're gonna go through. Jay Stone says Lance didn't help the DBs at all, leaving them in man. I mean, we all know this.
Yeah.
We all know that.
You heard what I said? Where's Randy Shannon these days?
He had his chance. I don't want to bring him back either.
I'm kidding.
The only coach I would ever want to bring back right now, Al Golden, because that defense in Notre Dame looks good.
No, I'm kidding. I don't.
But I feel like football God threw us in the playoffs. Mario would grow some nuts and Now, I will say this. People are saying, why don't they get rid of Guidry before they know about the CFP? What I would do if I was Mario, which I'm not, and I've never coached football in my life. I played it, but never coached. If we make the CFP, he should hire a consultant to help Guidry right away.
Yeah.
That should already be in works. Guidry, you're still the defensive coordinator, but we're going to bring in another coordinator or a consultant to help you this game. That's what I would do. I wouldn't just leave it to him.
Bill Belichick on a game-per-game basis. Just bring him in. Yeah.
Bro. Bring in Rudy. I don't care who you bring in.
I think we're going to make that. Man, it was so close to being a nice weekend. It was so close to Georgia Tech winning that game. Georgia Tech, I was like, man, but still a good showing. And then Ohio State lost again. Not even lost. They just got embarrassed on their own field.
By Michigan, bro.
Yeah. Pepper sprayed everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you guys make of all the brawls that were going on this weekend? Boy, there was a lot of fights out.
Well, let me get to this
great
first.
Tradition.
We'll talk about
that's great tradition for those schools. For UM, it would have been like, look at these. You know the narrative.
Vicky B drops $5 and says Jaden Harris is the worst Miami football player I've ever seen. Dude's not.
Yeah, I don't think you
what
remember.
Happened? Yeah. Worse? I don't know.
That guy Popovich, that's that safety back in.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
97 or 6. He was a walk-on.
But this is the worst. Can we be honest? This is the worst defensive backfield we have had, and probably ever. Besides OJ.
I can't think of a defensive backfield I wouldn't take in the last 30 years over this one. And if we had any of the defensive backfields we had in the last 20 years, we're probably undefeated, I would say.
Hey, Vicky B, thank you for the super chat. It means a lot. It really supports the show. And all you people, all these super chat drops really supports the show. Help us keep it going. And when the season's over too, I'm going to be doing special player interviews and special player kind of like documentaries, like 12-minute documentaries about like how the players started and things like that. My favorite Canes players and other players in college football. So this thing will expand as well. Let's talk about the planting the flag. That happened 4 times this weekend, and it felt like all the teams were on the same page. Like they all called each other and was like, hey, we're all visitors. We're going to plant some flags.
Yeah. Well, the Michigan-Ohio State one, obviously, they started pepper spraying on the cops.
That got wild. Yeah, did you see the players that were on the side, like puking it up, trying to get the pepper spray out of their eyes? That was wild.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a cop. I don't know how to deal with fights and stuff like that, but I'd seem a little bit over the top there. But I was happy Ohio State lost.
Obviously, and I don't know. I see stuff like this go down, and every time I do, I always think, all right, hey, man, you guys should have shown up and played the game, and now they get their opportunity to rub it in your face, man. Listen, as a Wisconsin Badgers fan and watching that team lose the axe every year to Minnesota, not every year, but when they lose it, it hurts. But at least the two schools have enough respect for one another that when they start chopping down the goalpost, Minnesota doesn't run over and start throwing fists at Wisconsin. Like there was a little bit.
Talking about the two lamest brands in college football playing, Rudy.
No, but I get that. But listen, it is your job to take it on the chin. You went out there and you screwed up. You didn't win that game. Now it's your job to eat it. That's the way it works.
Let me tell you something.
I know Forrest knows what I'm talking about when I say lame. Like,
obviously they're terrible.
Any players on either one of those teams that are gonna like really start anything?
When San Jose State plays Santa Cruz for the Golden Surfboard, you don't see fights on that field.
Yeah.
Just stop betting up. Maybe stop recruiting a bunch of freaking meatballs. These guys out there throwing punches at each other.
So I do not, and this is an important fact, Jeremiah. 10-2, we should be 11-1. Why are we complaining? We knew, yes. So, Jeremiah, you bring up a good point because I haven't showed appreciation this whole podcast.
Gratitude.
Yeah. 5-7, 7-5, 10-2, national spotlight all year. Had the best quarterback in the world. Now, if you think about next year, it could go sideways, but let's focus on this year.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mario. Thank you, staff, for even because without Mario, there's no Cam Ward at this school. So people are like, well, what if Cam Ward? No, Mario got Cam Ward here. So thank you. The appreciation, the gratitude. I've had so much fun this year. And I've had so much fun that my expectations after Cam Ward was like, oh, we're gonna go all the way. If you told me 10-2 at the beginning of the season, 100%, I'm down for that. But Cam Ward was so damn good that you're like, yo, he's a superhero. He making leaders. We all knew every team was scoring their season high against us, but we still had faith in Cam Ward. That's how one player can change the dynamic of the team.
The offense, honestly, like every player on the offense brought me joy this year. Just watching it, obviously there was games where it wasn't always clicking the whole game, but you always knew in the back of your head, you're like, oh, Elijah Arroyo over the middle, just bam, X down that seam route, and he's like gone. It's just like the running backs. Man, like you said, Damian Martinez was killing that.
Dude, what about that BS holding call? The guy got pancaked and they called it a hold, which was ridiculous.
Yeah, even the announcers who clearly weren't, as usual, not into Miami. They were like, and anyways, moving on. I was like,
you know what gets me, Forrest and Rudy, is when Miami plays, if there's a blatant foul against Miami, or Miami got a penalty, they won't say anything. Miami barely hits a player wrong on they'll make a big deal about it.
Yeah.
And another thing, and I'm skipping games here, Georgia Tech against Georgia. Tell me why it's okay for that camera crew to keep putting the camera on the offensive coordinator of Georgia Tech while he's talking, nothing over his mouth, like people don't read lips. That made me so upset. Why are you showing an offensive coordinator call plays with nothing over his mouth?
Oh.
To me, that's a form of cheating. That you're putting this on national television. A guy calling plays with nothing covering his mouth when you never saw the Georgia offensive coordinator once.
And
I thought that was so shady. I thought that was criminal almost.
And the SEC ACC bias was strong in that game too, where it was just like Kirby, smart as blah blah blah, and then they showed Georgia Tech sideline like whatever. I'm like, yo, they are taking it to them in their own fields. I know they ended up losing in the end, but it's like give them a little respect. Like say at some point be like, maybe the ACC is better than me.
Yeah.
Instead, it's just like Georgia's coming back. It's like instead of being like, well, this is a good team that beat Miami. It's like,
the one headline I put out there that I saw, it goes, Georgia shocks Georgia Tech. That was the headline.
Yeah.
Georgia shocks Georgia Tech.
Not
Hank, you better get out. Big shout outs real quick to Polk Kane. I don't know what you're talking about because we've been going through so much. I think OJ's a great cornerback. We do need safety play, though. Another cornerback, add some depth. I think we need some I think defensive linemen, man, I think we get the young guns. I think we're going to have some good people coming in. I think the linebackers, maybe get one veteran, but our linebacker crew is good too. Let's be honest. This whole thing next year, I don't want to get into next year yet, could be flipped. We'll still have offensive talent, but I think that defense, get defensive backs, could be a problem.
Oh, did we lose Forrest? I think we lost Forrest.
The Forrest,
I think he's gone.
Freeze up.
I think he said his phone was about
he's
to die.
gonna put it in a 2-box.
Okay. All right, we'll put it in a 2-box. Yeah.
Well, 2-box.
The comment that I was going to make about coaches that need to put their placards or their play sheets over their face, I feel like that's on the coaches. That should not be on anybody else besides the coach, because whoever is running that broadcast, whether it be NBC, Fox, Big Ten, whoever it is, ACC Network, whatever it is, they will definitely have their own. They need to just run their program, and I think it needs to be on the coaches.
This guy is not on the sideline; he's in the booth upstairs. On the sideline, they cover their mouths. When they're in the booth calling plays, a camera should not be on.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, I thought you meant like offensive coordinators on sidelines with a play. Okay,
in the booth, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Then it feels a little shady. Yeah, that does feel a little shady. Then sure. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Polk Kane said meant to say CBs. Polk Kane, it wasn't really the DBs play. Cornerback play. It was the same. 100%. I agree with you. And we had to have the slowest secondary in the world, like literally the world. All right. Before we go. Hold on. Who's this? $5 feels like we went. Okay. Vicky, a lot of people said, no, we didn't. Vicky B, no, we didn't. We went 10-2. And I'm so proud of it because look how much joy it brought. Yes, it may hurt now, but look how much joy it brought us. Look at the potential. What are we? 3 hours away from finding out if we'll make the college football playoffs if SMU beats Clemson. Now, I'm going to tell you this, Vicky B. I think Clemson's going to beat SMU. Like, I've called the season already. Here's why I think SMU, I don't really think SMU is that good. I think Miami, if they played SMU, they would beat them by 21. 100% all day. All day. I don't think SMU's that. They had a weaker bracket than Miami. They didn't play a Georgia Tech that we found out was good. They didn't play a Syracuse. They played Duke and should have lost.
Yeah.
So I think Clemson, and I'm not talking about brand, I think Clemson is going to run through SMU because SMU is not that good. A lot of people disagree with me, but I don't think SMU is good at all. At all, to any level. And I think they get whipped by Clemson. So I kind of called the season. Now, do I hope they win? Yes. But I don't think it'll even be close.
So outside of obviously getting rid of Guidry, what do you think some of the other big things in this offseason coming up Miami's going to have to do to be able to get this defense back on track?
That North Carolina State, NC State transfer. Got to throw him all the money. You need that number one receiver. I think Horton's going to be great. You're going to have JoJo. All the young guns are going to come in. You're going to have a bunch of great running backs. Emory, look, here's the thing. If you find that Cam Ward type, get him. I'm fine with Emory. Mm-hmm. Because let's be honest, Canes fans, let's be honest. If we never got Cam Ward, we probably wouldn't be 10-2 right now. Let's be honest. But if Emory would have got us to 10-2, how happy would we have been right now? Knowing he's coming back next year and the year after. So after a certain point, you got to give your guys a shot. Like, I don't have a problem with Emory. I really giving him a shot. If you can get another Cam Ward type, do it. Cam Ward is 1 of 1 though. Sure. If you bring in a guy that wants to compete, get him. But you're not getting a Cam Ward. Don't even think you're getting another Cam. Cam Ward is a 1 of 1 player. Cam Ward is the 0-star to probably number 1 draft pick or in the top 5. You're not getting it.
We had a comment here earlier. Oh, there we go, Anthony. I don't think you read this comment yet.
Mike, I think if we go after a quarterback in the portal, we go after Connor Wegman from Texas, and because he fits. Yeah. I do like Connor. I do like Connor. Like, I haven't even, to be honest with you, I haven't even looked at the portal quarterbacks right now because I'm more worried about the defense. They got to fix the defense because I think we have so much talent on offense, and a lot of it is leaving, but our line's going to be great. I think we have so much talent. A quarterback, just think about this. A quarterback that doesn't make mistakes would be able to get us to probably 8 or 9 wins next year. Just doesn't make the stupid mistakes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you got to remember, you had Cam Ward this year, so the offensive game plan was catered around Cam Ward. If you have like an Emory, it'll be more of a Georgia style where you're running a lot more, the quick passes a lot more, very an efficient offense, you know, with hopefully low mistakes. Where Cam Ward was like, you know, it's backyard football. So it's different. You can't say Emory can't do as well as Cam Ward because it's going to be a totally different system for Emory.
And listen, if Emory doesn't work out, I'm just throwing this out there. There is a young stud stallion by the name of Braden Locke slinging them for the Wisconsin Badgers right now that you are more than welcome to take.
No, we'll pass on that dude. We gave you TBD. He got hurt. Yeah, we'll pass on that. Locked on Kane says his lures were in the port. I think so, but why would he be in the portal? He's going to go pro, or does he even have another? If he does go into the portal, which I don't think he will, he's already proven he's the best quarterback at Texas. And do you really think Arch Manning is going to beat him? Maybe so, because that gets into politics. So maybe so, but I can't see Arch Manning doing what Urs do. I can't. Not right now. Not right now. Yeah. Don't be surprised. Look, this is my thing, Pokane. Liberty quarterback is good. Get him. Get him. If any quarterback is coming to compete, I'm fine with it. But you got to give Emory a legit shot. Or that quarterback has to be way better than Emory. And that'll show in spring football. So bring every quarterback you want. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I think Emory beats out 90% of the quarterbacks, unless he's like a Cam Ward. That's what I think. And what quarterback is going to come when you got to tell him, hey, I know you're transferring here. You gotta have a quarterback battle. You'll get a second-degree quarterback because this guy from Liberty, he wants to start. He doesn't want to compete. And we're all in that mentality right now. I hear it on the boards. Oh, well, you know, if you're really good, you're not scared to compete. Not these kids. Not these kids. These kids want to get paid and they want to play.
Yeah.
It's not like before where you had walk-ons that would go to starters. You had people getting recruited. It's not like the running back days of 2001 where you had 3 all-stars waiting their turn back to back to back. It doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, let's not forget about a young Rudy Rudenberg. Played for the Fighting Irish in Notre Dame. That guy showed up every practice, never got a chance to play. Goes inside. Have you ever heard this story? I know it's kind of folklore, but the guy went in, man. He's tired. He sacked a quarterback, last play of the game. I'm telling you, we've lost heart when it comes to college football.
100%. Poke, I agree. Emory needs to be pushed. He does need to be pushed, man. Bring him in. Bring in whoever you want. Yeah. Like I said, but you're not getting Cam Ward. Don't think there's another Cam Ward just hanging out.
No.
You know, that everybody's talking about the Washington State quarterback. He's good too. Rudy!
Yeah. Well, man, you know what? I'm glad that we had this podcast because
I need to get it off my chest.
You needed to get it off your chest. It's been a rough couple of days for you, and I'm glad that, we talked about earlier off the air, that my proclivity is to a good time, and I like when my friends are having a good time, and if the Miami Hurricanes are winning, that means I'm having a good time. So
yeah, hold on one second. Harold Foster says Miami has the worst defense in the ACC, which is absolutely wrong. It's actually number 1 or 2, I believe. So that's what's crazy. Miami has a top 25 defense.
Yeah.
And we're 10-2. And I've been crying for 42 minutes.
Let's look it up. Before we leave, let's get that last day. Miami Hurricanes defense.
In the ACC. I think they were number 1 before the Syracuse game.
Yeah.
Polk Kane, what are they right now? I know Polk Kane will know.
That's just in the ACC?
Huh? Well, I know they're top. I 100% know they're top 25 in the country. So Harold Foster saying they're the worst, which is absolutely not true. Florida State would probably have that, or Wake Forest, or last week Miami was number 1. So there you go.
Wow, number 1 in the ACC, the 20. But man, it's insane. That's what we were talking about earlier today. Is for how small of a season college football is, any sort of derailment from perfection throughout the season, man, it hurts so bad. Yeah. It's like a butterfly effect. You screw up right away in the beginning of the season, dude, you're done.
Well, it seems like Miami didn't screw up at the beginning; they screwed up at the end. It's better to screw up at the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if Miami would have lost their 2 first games and then won 10 in a row, this would be a totally different board.
Yeah, they always say, like in boxing, those last 30 seconds are what really counts. It's those last few games that you really gotta show everybody what you're made of, man.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna finish this podcast. Hey, we'll find out in 3 hours if the Canes have a chance to make the playoffs. I think Clemson beats SMU, but it will be fun to talk about. And hopefully I'm 100% wrong, because I would love, when it first lost, I was like, let's not go to the playoffs. I was that dude. I was depressed. Now I want to see Cam Ward one more time in a uniform. I want to see if Miami can step up. I would get a consultant going into those playoffs for Guidry, though. Get somebody over him. I don't care I don't care who it is. Get somebody to kind of oversee the defense with him, to help him out. A side coach, not a side chick, but a side coach.
Sure.
The Pringles guy. ACC is the AJ Allen of
disrespect.
That's a true fan right there. I don't know. Was that a dig at my AJ Allen? It sounded like a dig. Pringles guy. Is that a dig at AJ Allen? Because I love some AJ Allen. But watch AJ Allen next year. Wherever he goes, he's gonna shine. Gonna shine. Gonna shine bright like a diamond. 100%. 100% he's gonna shine. I think he's not going to SMU. I think SMU.
No. I think SMU is going to beat Clemson. Yeah, Clemson has been so inconsistent this season.
Dude,
they have been. Yeah, absolutely.
SMU has not played anybody. They almost lost to Duke. They had 6 turnovers and still almost beat Duke. Wait. Duke had 6 turnovers, and they still barely won. SMU is not good. Miami would beat SMU by 21 points. It would be a shootout, but SMU can't stop our offense either. Okay, Gamecocks beat Clemson. Southwest Miami University can beat them too. SMU, because all our players, Rudy's just getting acquainted with a lot of our players play for SMU. If they didn't start for us, they went over there, which is another bad look on our coaching staff, but whatever.
Sure.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Yep. Love you. I'll talk to you later tonight when we find out, or tomorrow. But man, I'm gonna end this thing on a positive note. Gratitude. 5-7, 7-5, and now we're 10-2. Could be 11-2 when it's said and done. We're making progress. I think we're all so sad because we knew the potential with Cam Ward, and we knew we only had it for 1 year. And he raised up that whole team, but that one man, that number 1, raised our expectations so high that it might have not been attainable. But we'll find out in a couple of hours if we're still in the game. Because if we're not, then you're going to see everybody start to drop out. You know,
Sure.
and if I was Cam Ward, I wouldn't play in a bowl game if it's not the college football playoffs. If I was a first round, second round, third round draft pick, I wouldn't play.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Unless
absolutely.
it benefits
Why
your
risk
stock
it?
movement, don't play.
Yeah, why risk it? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we love you. See you next time. Late. That's great.